You know, this is what Jesus is talking about in Matthew 12 when he says, how can you, being evil, speak anything good? From the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You know, for a man shall be justified or condemned by the words of his own mouth. For by your word you shall be justified, by your word you shall be condemned. You know, it says, the proverb says that, you know, a person is snared by the words of their own mouth. They're taken captive by them. Or as Proverbs 18:21 says that life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. You know, people that say they have faith in God, just listen to the end of their conversation, because most of the people that say, oh yeah, I have faith in God, they will undo the confession that, oh yeah, Jesus died to make me free, but then they talk about how in bondage they are to sin. You know, they say, well, no one's perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be without sin. Jesus came to take away our sin, not just forgive our sin. Jesus wasn't made perfect until he was risen from the dead. As the Hebrew writer of Hebrews in chapter 5 says, though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. And having been made perfect, he became the initiator of eternal salvation to as many as obey him. You know, I mean, and this is what Paul is saying. You know, that I count everything as done, that if by any means I might attain unto the resurrection of the dead, not as though I had already attained unto what? The resurrection of the dead. Neither were already made perfect. He's talking about the body. But we've got to understand that unless we live by the faith that this body is dead and we were born of Jesus, we put on that new man, we'll die in our sins. Romans 6:15, know you not to whom you yield yourselves servants to obey, the servants you are to whom you obey, whether it's sin unto death or obedience unto righteousness. You know, you're snared by the words of your own mouth. To have faith in God,